Hello guys, today we're looking at Signal Simulator and I've just made one successful work shift and perhaps it's time to have some rest. We can see in this video life of ordinary worker at some radio telescope. We've got a total of 10 antennas that are controllable. We've got a rather spacious bathroom. With the all comforts that a human being ever needs, and we've got that red coffee machine to have some coffee at work, and we've got a server room that's out there and door locks. I often start my routine with closing them door locks, and I'll explain briefly why am I doing that. So now I just want to observe what happens here and there. That dark area over there with the machinery, it's array of solar panels that powers up all the radio telescopes and our equipment also, and our transmitter up in the tower. And this hatch is for the helicopter to directly put supplies in, and we've got a car over there that's not accessible right now, but we can see Bulgarian license plates, and this small golf cart we often use to travel to some remote areas of the facility. So basically we maintain the radio telescope and intercept signals. The game is made by SETI fan to the fans of every and all space and science fiction movie, or maybe even science fiction soap. Oh, that's an orbit. That's definitely an orbit depicted here with the spots. Some Roswell photos, some famous photos related to extraterrestrial life. So no doubt we are looking for the answer if we are alone. We've got that panel that delivers power from the solar panel through the battery, through the diesel to a power controller, and to 3 different switches. Upper switch provides additional power to antenna, both to antenna detection and to antenna turn rates. Middle switch provides additional power to servers. Lower switch provides power to coordinates detection antenna. So this is our server room. Nothing unusual, an ordinary state server room with lots of equipment, and some of the equipment still working from the era of Honeywell dominance, 1950s, 1960s. I'm just a fan of X-Files, so the user is Mulder and the pass is Samantha. We've got a server terminal. Total, we've got 11 servers. 10 of them are located on the second level of antennas within the control rooms that are normally locked down. And 11th server we've got into our main building. Total commands can be listed very intuitive via help. We've got majority of commands that allow us to control the whole facility from every server wherever we are. And we've got some commands to control server parameters such as set user set pass that sets the names and password, transmission that controls transmitters and use consumables to transmit a message, power boost that also use consumables to bring efficiency of the system temporarily up, turbo that controls fans that doesn't use any consumables but just reduces server temperature for a bit. Reboot and reboot all are related to rebooting servers. Reboot reboots current server. Reboot all reboots every and all 11 servers. Temp check gives temperature value for the server. External temperature could be also shown with different command, and so on and so forth. Signal analyze use consumable to get analysis of intercepted signals. You can intercept one and all, and you can intercept a bunch of signals and then run signal analyze. They would be processed. On the upper right of this screen we can see results of message being transmitted. I don't know if we get a chance of transmitting something somewhere this time. This is my second time of writing this video. I watched what I recorded in the previous hour and decided to dump it. Was very uninformative. So what was I telling about? To exit the terminal, by the way, it has a clear command and it has a flaw such as only one previous command could be shown. To exit the terminal, you could either, by the way, you could either I needed to do these checks. You could either press escape or type exit. I did these checks to see if I need antennas to be calibrated soon, as that would not be desirable in current conditions. I often use escape, but what's up with the good old typing? So we don't interact with the equipment apart from maybe the terminal. I often keep power down to a certain limit, and also, let me check, Yeah, this is turned off. Oh, this should be turned off. Should be turned off. Keeping my expenses to the minimum. Everything costs money, and upgrades, and fuel, and something else too. These two consoles start is turned on, and I often also turn them off on the start of the game. And by the way, I forgot to turn this off. So, with everything turned off and some upgrades and charge efficiency 78%, we've got nice power reserves. And we are charging our batteries and are getting ready to intercept some signals. How do I intercept a signal? Well, let's give it another angle. This station on the right is main station needed to intercept the signal. The station that gives the average coordinates. By default, it holds a buffer of 10 pairs of azimuth and elevation, which can be upgraded, and I am in the middle of walkthrough, and I have upgraded this buffer up to 15 values, which gives pretty accurate numbers on azimuth and elevation. When I get these numbers, that's maybe most difficult part of this job. I often buy tech. By the way, we have we've depleted our reserves, so I would need to buy some. And I use tech to run intercept via this tracking button. And I immediately stop intercept by pressing the stop and giving it a manual override. Why? Because if tracking is active with this button, when new average coordinates would be calculated, the antenna would turn, and probably you would lose the signal. Then this station in the middle is a station for measuring signal frequency. It slightly resembles any modern scanning radio receiver. This station on top of it resembles power. When everything charged and tuned, system efficiency is at maximum, and when system efficiency decreases, also with it decrease can be seen on both downloading speed and coordinates detection and whatever else we've got. And we've got a problem. Houston, we've got a problem. Servers are overheating. So I enter turbo command, log off, and we can see as server temperature slowly begins to decrease. These pairs of buttons related to playback are responsible for each one, and on the server sounds. For example, for the right panel it would be clicking sounds, for the main audio panel it would be the signal. For the left panel I honestly didn't manage to listen to it yet, but anyway, and the coffee is just coffee. And by the way, that was last received signal. The signal was random. So overall, I need to enter my laptop and show you some things. As I'm not going outside, I'm going to show you a bit in info on calibration. Each antenna has its calibration console located at the upper rotating side. Then to calibrate an antenna you would enter a command on terminal, the command named service, and then you would execute the turn with the start rotation command. Without that, the upper level would be inaccessible, as there's the bridge that you can use to access upper level, and it's only accessible when the azimuth is set to 0. And in this console there's a button and there's a knob that is used to increase or decrease parameter, and this switch changes the parameter being calibrated between azimuth and elevation. Everything simple. Choose the parameter, change it, and push the button. Now we've got this covered. This is just some sort of shooter. I haven't used that yet. This is terminal. This is tech screen. So we've got plenty of fuel. We've got some electronics stored. Maybe I was wrong about running out of supplies. This screen is for modules. Module are some sort of upgrade that can be accessible with interception signals and with bind them. They modify parameters of your system. They boost one parameter and decrease another parameter, often related to the need of more thorough maintenance. The upgrades, on the other side, are rather costly. The cost increases non-linearly with the level, and I've got some systems upgraded to the level 5, for example, systems that are critical to intercepting the signal, such as azimuth and elevation servo motors, and other systems I've got just what I could, because every other level costs a lot of money, and we've got a database of these signals. Now it is time to show you some signals, and probably it is time to turn off that main thingy for you to listen. Let's start with the random signals. Now you would definitely answer to this one. And I've got a couple of signals that are actually spoilers to the plot of the game. So if you don't want spoilers, you could skip to the point where I would be scanning the sky. First one, gray. Moon base is almost ready. Forgive me if that sounds perverted, but that resembles a pornography to me. Some little green man is doing some little green woman. And the next one is even more terrifying. Grey, bring me that human. This is why I lock the doors, and this is why I often keep enough of system efficiency and only rarely go outside. The weather is fine. We've got, by the way, a weather screen with the forecast, so now it's like clouds, and the next day would be sunny, and the day after that day would be again light clouds. So let's start working. Now we've got something detected. Don't even think to move away from this spot or exit, or you will lose the signal. Now, as I've got some tech, I could use automatic frequency detection and boost coordinates detection in advance. When the frequency is found, the noise would become silent. When we get maximum available data, I would intercept average values and set a manual override. So the signal doesn't look good. It could be problematic. I'm intercepting it now. And to boost antenna performance, I could turn antenna on and turn detection off. Perhaps I should be stopping the antenna to check if the signal is there. We've got another problem, Houston. Unfortunately, we cannot log off the terminal while it is restarted. How did I know? When servers are offline, download speed decreases. How did I know if something is actually there? 278, 279. Two different regimes get different sounds when they rotate on azimuth and when they rotate on elevation. Near heat. What the hell? Should be boosting server now. And when we get signal tuned correctly, we get additional money for it. Signal saved to database, and perhaps we are getting something horrible. No. It sounds random. It sounds random, thanks God. Message transmitted. So, I've intercepted so far the whole 2 pages of signals. Maybe not the full page on the second time, but a lot. Now, how do I search for another signal?
Speak for them because they're off looking into this.
I could press this button, turn off the antenna, turn off the power, bring the power to normal, wait until... No, I wouldn't be waiting until it charged. I could proceed from now on. So this is how you play this game.
Let's just take you first.
Okay, thanks. Kelly BD Sky and Telescope for Ken, Mr. PI. Are the RGB filters on Molly the same as on the mass cams? We've color balances and such the same.
The thunderstorm is on its way.
It's exactly the Molly.
And I guess this is it. So stay tuned for another regular flight video, and don't let the gray take you. Till the next time.